Hello, and welcome to my advanced tutorial for the Tadpole. Today we're going to go over Big Red, or known as Solaris Ridge, and its common landing spots that are used by most people. Sometimes some of these aren't used by people because they don't know about it, so this tutorial is just going to outline some of those spots. So first of all, I've already equipped the Tadpole with most of the necessities needed to be able to have a proper Tadpole. So if you don't know about that, you can check out my other tutorial or check out some of the wiki guides on Tadpole itself. But this tutorial assumes that you already know the basics of how to Tadpole. Now there are several spots that we're going to go over, but I'm going to go over them step by step, show you some of the best spots you can go to when you're Tadpoling. Alright, so the first spot you can land as a Tadpoler on this map is this area here. Well, now that we've landed, you can see that there's a 4-on mining well right here that we can repair, and on top of that we can deploy both of our sentry guns here. And just ignoring that was something I placed here, but you can use your C-Force to clear these complex shutters. But if you land on this spot here instead of inside of the marshal's office, you can basically keep these as safeguards. You don't have to C4 them. You can wait for the Xenos to decide to create a flank here. The reason why this is a really good spot is you've got these two sentries that protect this area and this area here. When Xenos start coming, you can repair the 4-on mining well here, and there's not a lot of flanks that Xenos can abuse. They can come through here, which you can cade up. You can cade, this area is already caded up, and it's all R walls, so it requires a queen or a boiler to contest you. Which, if a queen or boiler comes, it usually means that you're screwed anyways. Unless it's a full Tadpole operation, so you want to get out of here anyways. But this is one of the better kind of okay spots. I'm going to show you the second spot you can go to. This area here is the second spot that I would actually approve of for both normal Tad hopping and also for full Tad ops with every Marine. You can use this spot for stealth potting, and if you're not using this for stealth, I would recommend going right here and cutting all of these walls here. Versus tutorial, I'm just going to use up all the battery here because this doesn't really matter. Now that that is cut, we can take off and we can re-land the ship in a better position, because this way Xenos can't use this area here. Now this way we are protected from the north. The south has 2 turrets, and the west you can cade up as you want. I'm just going to show a basic cade formation here, so that if you decide to do Tadpole here, you'll know what to do. As you can see, this is a very, very basic cade setup. You can do this on like a normal drop, even without this much plastisteel. If you're doing like stealth mining, you can set this up with just normal metal and then weld these normal metal here. This would require Xenos to really commit with either hurting themselves as normal Xenos or to bring a boiler or queen. If this is a full Tadpole op, this is a very basic setup that you can have for this spot. And you can even expand to the west or the south, because to the southeast is another platinum miner, and to the southwest is another platinum miner. This area has 3 platinum miners, so if you're doing a full Tadpole operation, I highly recommend landing in this area. Now let's go to the third spot. This is the third place you want to land in. It's somewhat similar to the bottom right one, but The reason why you'd want to land here is in full tadpole operation and nothing more. The reason being is it has more space for the Marines to spread out in, and also if you're in the distress game mode, you are right next to both generators. The biggest generator for engineering to the left, and to the top right is the Atmos generators. If you decorrupt those, you completely negate the psi income of the Xenos. As you can see, we land here, and I'm going to show you a basic outline of a cades you want to set up for this area. As you can see, this is a basic setup of cades. There are turrets you can place, but I would leave that up to your imagination. If you even have turrets for the area. Sometimes you don't, but maybe you'd place one turret there, one turret here, one to the top right here, and then finally a turret to the bottom right here. This way you have all flanks covered, and you can easily cut the south area there in order to go in and get the plat miner to the south. To the west here is a 4-on miner you can capture. But again, this is a very basic cade setup. Xenos can still easily acid the walls and such to get around. I'd assume that you know that and know how to further cade this once you have more money and are able to ask the requisitions for more supplies. Now the last spot that's the most popular here I'm going to show as well. This is the last and most frequently used spot. Before, this was used to crush the 4-on miner right here, but now that the tadpole is small enough, you can land and capture the 4-on miner. Due to the various changes to tadpole, this is actually one of the more difficult spots to pull off now. Reason being that the tadpole is destructible and smaller, so this area used to be covered by an indestructible wall of the tadpole. It no longer is. However, it's actually still very, very good now to do, especially because the 4-on miner is no longer crushed. So if you do a full tadpole operation, you'll always have the income of the 4-on miner, and you'll also be able to cut in with a plasma cutter into this area here, as I will demonstrate. As you can see here, we've cut away into the area here where we can find a platinum miner. We can secure this and put down a turret or two. You could also cut through to the north instead to have turret cover, but personally I like this better. That way you have more space to move around in. Up here is another platinum miner, and even up further there is another platinum miner. That way you have control over 3 platinum miners and a 4-on miner, allowing you to get enough to constantly win through the power of money. I'll show a basic cade layout for this area as well. As you can see here, this is a basic cade setup. Again, very basic, doesn't cover the flanks here, but it's still one of the best ways to cover this area. You plasma cut this, you have more shooting space for the Ungas to shoot from. You've cut this out for more space as well. You especially want to do this even if you don't do the technique I've done here in order to cut this open. That way you have the turrets that can fire here. You have turret cover left, and if you decide to cut north instead of cut right, you are able to have turret cover with 2 turrets on the north as well. And that's the end of this guide. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.